Hello, now we finally get to the fun part of decorating our eggs. So I'm going to start off with home hacks and then work my way up to the more advanced tools, just a demonstration of them. And if you join me for my class in person next year, you'll be able to use the traditional tools, the more modern traditional tools, and then the electric tools if you so choose. So let's start us off. I just lit my beeswax candle so that we're ready to go with that. Let the wax melt in it a little bit. Earlier I made a dyed egg here with it using a dark brown egg and just the wax and vinegar and a Sharpie. I cheated. But I'll show you how to do that right now with tools from home. So toilet paper tube or paper towel roll cut works just fine. Have paper down, have a cloth underneath your egg in case you drop it. That's happened to me a few times. I have rubber bands here too. So then let's think about designs to do. So I can have design pamphlets out and books. I will post my Pinterest page that I have collected ideas for Sankey egg dyeing. But birds usually represent like fertility, horses and deer, prosperity and good health. Maybe you want to do that one right now. Ram's horns, perseverance. That could be good. Eternal youth and good health is for pine, strength and growth. Tree branches and leaves. Then we have oak, leaves and acorns, strength and energy. Willow branches for Palm Sunday. Wheat for a good harvest. Grapes traditionally represent like Holy Communion. Lion for strength. There we go. Fish, traditionally Jesus Christ. Butterfly for love or new life. Spider web, good luck. These are spiders and spider webs. And wolf's teeth for loyalty. That's an interesting one. Ribbon or belt. The endless line of eternity. Dots or circles. Stars or constellations. Let's see if I can get a better view of this. A little sieve or net suggests fishing for men, and the little baskets or triangles symbolize the Holy Trinity. Ladders, here, maybe I can go like that, suggest prayer. Rose or right pointed star, ancient symbol for Christ. Cross, four corners of the world, resurrection of the Savior, it says here. Leaf or flower, suggesting life and growth. Pine needles suggest long life, youth, and health. That can be good too. Fish, ancient symbol for Christ. Deer and horses, wealth and prosperity. Birds, fertility and fulfillment of wishes. Grapevine, good fruits. Butterfly, symbol of the resurrection. Other motifs. Here at the bottom, they don't say any things for that, but there's more resources on symbols, but you can choose whatever the heck you want. One year, I was talking to the man who owns the Ukrainian egg store where I get all the supplies, and he's like, oh, you need a bird egg if you're wanting to have a baby. And I was like, yeah, right, okay. I made one, and then we got pregnant with Melanie that year. So this is the bird one that I made, my fertility egg. There might be some magic to it, you never know. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to do, for this one, I think I'll do a simple flower because I did a leaf on this one. to draw it, so you just have to draw really lightly. Again, do not erase. Oh, make sure your hands are clean. Wash your hands thoroughly to get off all the oils and lotion and any other thing that could keep your dye from getting on your egg. So just draw super lightly. I don't like to do that part, but meh. Okay, so I should have probably had my wax going a little bit longer here, but what you gonna do? So I like to use the biggest or heaviest gauge tool possible for this. Put wax around the outside. I don't know if you can see this. I can try and do this on this side. I go around the edge, trying to go in a circle, making sure to get the whole completely covered. Now this tool that I'm using right now has a plastic head on the pin, on the straight pin that I put into the eraser. I found that the finer tool that I have, my princess pencil, I just have the finest little head pin that I could find. There's no plastic on it. I could actually heat the pin up in the metal and drag it through wax that's already melted, which I find helpful. Now, you can see it's got black soot on it, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And sometimes you even want that, especially on a white egg, because the soot helps you recognize, oh, I've already gone over this with wax. It's done. The white wax, or the plain beeswax, is easier to see on a brown egg sometimes. Because once wax is there on the egg, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't scrape it off, melt it off to redo the line. It's just there. So if you get a happy accident of an accidental splash or a scrape, gotta work with it. So I'm just gonna go with my little princess here. I think I'm gonna do one to hang. I'll have this at the top. It's not necessarily the right shape. I don't like having the thicker end of the egg on the top, but I'm just gonna do it. So dip, and while the wax is still hot, you go. You just dip and drag. I need to figure out a better way to show you guys, but maybe you can see. I can try and move this closer. I have you up against the tea here, or the candle. So dip in the wax real quick and drag and pull. Now it cooled off, so I'm going to put the actual pin in the flame. So with this method, you have to go back and forth to the wax quite often for like every little drip. So I am not exactly sure what kind of flower I'm making, but I'm just gonna go with it. Going back and forth. It's really quite meditative, like weaving, you know, just the back and forth with the smell of the beeswax. It's gorgeous. This method, the lines are quite imprecise, so you just have to live with the fact, like, you know, it's just going to be what it turns out to be, and that's okay. I don't know if you can see my lines there. Tips to keep it steady if you find you're shaking: keep the egg against the table as you work. Another tip is to drop the wax and pull it. Usually working in long fluid lines is better than short scratchy ones with this method of wax application. With the sewing needle method, it's often nice to Just do a whole bunch of dots. Now my flour, I did not plan it out. So it's a little lopsided. That's okay. Every egg is different and they definitely do not need to be perfect. Now I love working with dots, even with the more fancy equipment. I just think they're so cute. Okay, so we're dotting it. I'm gonna keep going on this egg off camera now that you've kind of seen how to get started, and in the next video I'll come back and show you all how to do the vinegar bath. Okay, thank you.